What's going on, guys? Luke here from Mr. Crypto UK, bringing you another video. Now, this is not on anything to do with beginners, as my others have been, or mainly been. This is actually going to be on sort of a passive income through cryptocurrencies. Now, as we all know, there's many ways to make passive income or online income or whatever you want to call it. But everyone wants to eventually automate as much as you can. Any of the online business models, if the Amazon FBA or it's a Shopify store or whatever you're doing, you want to have some sort of passive income, as little it may be, coming in. So over the years you can build on it, and you never know, create some financial freedom for yourself going forward. So with cryptocurrencies, I mainly started off, as many beginners would do, on portfolios and just having some coins or tokens like Bitcoin, holding them until the price goes up or down or whatever, which has been okay for some, but recently the market hasn't done much. So over the last couple of months, I've been looking at other things and other avenues and just researching the whole industry to see what we can do to spread the bets, almost spread the risk, and maybe have our fingers in a couple of pies or whatever, and see how it goes. So you start off as a beginner, you invest in portfolio, and then you might move on to, say, try a little bit of day trading or the basics of day trading. Then you might move into, say, hash flare, but as I've mentioned, hash flare is not profitable at the moment, and actually it's almost the other way. So it's so low that the maintenance fees aren't even covering your payout. So potentially, if Bitcoin goes down, then hash flare could go bang, in theory, because, well, or something would happen, but the current format would not be as it is. Hash flare is only good if it's over 10 grand, $10,000, and that's if the difficulty of mining doesn't change, because the more people that mine it, to balance out the return, the sort of the amount that's paid out overall they've changed difficulty, so the same amount is mined, for example, so that you're not just getting everyone in the world doing one thing and then loads of that pays out and there's loads in circulation, which would change the price. So they sort of have to balance that so that it doesn't fluctuate in price. They make it harder, so the same amount sort of paid out overall. Anyway, so I come across Dropil or whatever you want to call it, which it was an ICO, which is like initial coin offering. So it's very similar to when a company floats on a stock exchange and they issue shares and people buy them for a very, whatever the entry level is, and they want to get X amount bought for X amount of the company. Very similar. I mean, it's not the same, but just for this video, that's how you would understand it. I didn't get in then. It's actually only been a couple of months since then, and the prices are much different to ICO price, really, because the markets haven't been great. So if we jump over to CoinMarketCap, this is, they have their own token, which is really interesting. So the current price is really, really low, actually. It's like 6 cents, or no, 6/10 of a penny in US dollar. So 6 cents would be obviously there, and then it's obviously the next one. You can see it's only been listed on CoinMarketCap since March 19th. So really not much activity, and it was only the sort of total market was only realised. So when this blue line appears, that's when the total sort of market capitalisation is recognised. So we start from here. You can see it's sort of dipped there because the markets were pretty low, and it's sort of held pretty nicely, actually. Even though Bitcoin has been going sort of not like this, I would say. It's really interesting to see that it's held and it's growing. Yes, the price is going up and down, but the market cap is sort of going up and down in the right direction compared to over here. And like anything, it has to find its feet when it's listed, because no one really knows the actual value of something. But it's number 84 in its overall cryptocurrencies. You can see here's 1,605. It's 84, which is very solid. Total market cap 170 million. Volume's a little low, but I think I know why that is, and I'll explain that in a minute. Quickly, it's because a lot of people are holding this and don't trade it. So where the volume's low, it's a little bit more difficult to trade, day trade it, buy and sell, because there's less people doing it, so you can't just as much activity in the market. But also, because it's a token, any transaction through this sort of investment portfolio thing I'll go on about in a minute has to be done in drops, a drop. So you have to hold them. So if you actually want to be involved in what this is, you have to actually just hold that token, and you can't be using Bitcoin, for example, to pay, to use that sort of as an exchange value. You have to actually convert your Bitcoin or Ethereum into drops, and then use that. Because it's an investment company, it's sort of an investment portfolio that I'll explain in a minute. You've got to invest it for minimum 15 days. So it's so everything that people have been putting in is obviously tied up. So this volume wouldn't be high. So the market cap is actually far higher than what the volume you would expect the volume to be. But that's cool. And a circulation token supply. But you can see from here, to me, it's looking quite nice. The all-time high was actually at almost double this. So it was at about 1 penny. I think it was somewhere. Oh, I don't know. It's somewhere. It was 1 penny anyway. And that's really interesting. Bitcoin dominance 40%. It's really high. But anyway, let me get into it. So this is Dropil. I'll just play you the video. It's only a minute and a half long, and you'll get a brief overview of what exactly it is. Here we go.
Cryptocurrency investing doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. Dropil offers a full suite of simple and expertly developed investment and informational tools to its users, making the complicated world of crypto investing effortless. Dropil features the revolutionary robo-advisor DAX, who fully automates cryptocurrency investments via low-friction, smart trading strategies, according to the user's easy-to-set parameters. Customers set their risk mode, and DAX does the rest, utilizing unparalleled diversification infrastructure and trading according to dynamically swapping logic. There is nothing else on the market like him. Unlike other systems, DAX never has a hold time or penalty fee placed on your principal. You can cash out your drops into any currency anytime, through partner exchanges, or in the future through our portal. Here at Dropil, we are constantly expanding the robust tools our users have access to, like our new Arbitrage bot, Arthur, featuring easy setup, user customization, actionable reporting, and auto notification, so you never miss an opportunity again. Dropil runs on Drops, the unique token that allows access to all our tools and services. There will never be more drop tokens minted, so that as our services and user base grow, so will the demand and price of drops. In a market that still has room for unprecedented growth, tackling a new generation of investment opportunities through automation is now open to everyone. Get started right now by visiting Dropil.com.
So there you are. Right. So something I just explained, because you've got to use drops to obviously get involved with this. That's why the volume's low. But because everything that goes through the system is drops. So if the price of drops goes up, it doubles. So this doubles in 15 days. So within the next 15 days, this price is now 1.2 cents. Now, yes, you still have the same amount of drops in your account. Let's say you've made a little bit of profit from the investment, because every investment 15 days long. You can reinvest that for as long as you want, but you get paid out in 15 days. And then you can decide what you want to do. You can just cash it out or whatever. But let's say you're going to keep it. Now, if it doubles, your actual US dollar value will double. Even though you've made a little bit of profit from what I'm going to show you in a minute from the investment, but your overall money actually goes up. So because it's quite low at the moment, yes, it can go down. But over time, as the cryptocurrency market goes up, all the others should go up. And as long as it's got solid principles behind the website, there shouldn't be an issue. Now, something I will say is that obviously some people will look at this and think, oh, is it a scam? Because a lot of people think that anything that gives you returns on cryptocurrencies could be a scam, maybe a scam. They look at the percentages, but one, you got to remember, this isn't the banking system. This isn't stocks and shares. You know, they've been saturated for so many years and just go up and up and up and up, like 10. You know, if you look at the Amazon shares, you look at all the different shares and banks and everything, it's just gone up. And yes, it has crashed at times, but overall, if you look at the last 30 years, you know, you see why things returns now are so low in that sector. And of course, this is not financial advice in any way. I am just advising what I'm doing. So I'm advising everyone that might not know about it, what I'm doing, and you don't have to do it. You can watch. You can wait for me to even give you updates. So what I'm going to do with this little video, I'm going to actually provide every 15 days a little update video, and I'm going to keep going as long as I feel that it's safe. And there's many trading bots out there, so this is based on trading bots, as the video sort of suggested, and it automatically basically buys and sells and trades online. It's almost like an investment fund, you know. An investment fund in the real world takes your money, they invest it out, and then you get a dividend or a payout or a return over after a fixed amount of time. On here, because of what it is, it's 15 days, but there will be, in their roadmap there is a retirement plan that they're looking to bring out, and that retirement plan would be longer term, and they're going to have higher investment long term, so which is almost very, very similar, mirroring a real, you know, an investment fund. You put it in there for like 1, 3 or 5 years and get a return depending on, and also with risk, which is the same. So you'd have low or safe, intermediate and high risk, which I'll show you. Yeah, it's really interesting. You've got autonomous trading, arbitrage, which I'll go over a little in a minute, smart wallet, how it works. So they've got two here. DEX is what I'm actually going to go over in this video, but just quickly to advise what the other thing is, which is something I'm going to be looking at in another video, is Arthur Arbitrage. Arthur is their arbitrage. So just like you would be, let's think of online arbitrage in Amazon. You know, you buy something from online, from Argos and Superdrug, and you're selling it for a profit on Amazon, and you're just doing it in such quantities that you are making a living, making profit, making money, so on. Arthur does exactly the same, but for cryptocurrencies. And the reason I'm going to look to get into this is because it's a nice transition from Amazon FBA, Amazon Online Arbitrage, because you can just, you know, it's very similar than what you're doing. You're finding it a price somewhere, and then you're selling it, and you're making a little margin in between. And this is exactly what it does. And you can set notifications to tell you when the price on one exchange is X, and then obviously you can sell it on the other exchange and transfer it across. Yes, there are fees when you do stuff like that, but I'll go into it a little bit further on another video, because I'm going to be talking about DEX, which is their autonomous trading bot. And the nice thing is that it's backed by their own it's backed by drops, and it's got a good ecosystem behind it, and that's why I'm investing. And I have probably invested into about 5 or 6 different avenues through cryptocurrencies. I've got portfolio, meaning I've just got, really I'm going to get a Legend Nano just at some point, but I've got some Binance portfolio, diversified in say 10 different things there. I've got my own mining rig where I mine cryptocurrencies literally at home. And then I have Hashflare, but as I said, not sure what's happening with that at the moment because I invested ages ago. If prices go up, fine. If they stay low for a while, I don't know what's going to happen with that. So we'll just say that's not an unknown at the moment. But what I'm doing is I'm diversifying even more. I've got a couple of trading bots, which are, let's say, high risk. So I put a couple of $100 into a couple of different trading bots, which is through what's the am I being silly here? Telegram. There we go. Don't know what happened to that. So Telegram, they have a couple of bots, and you basically put in, and you get a return of 1.2%, 1.4% a day, and you can reinvest and compound that. But that's because due to the high risk. It's probably very high risk. So I know it's probably a scam, is what I'm going to say. But as long as I don't just put all my money into it and leave it forever thinking I'm going to become a billionaire, I get in and I give it a couple of months, build up a little bit of money, and cash out. So I've already cashed out in it, and it's basically a company called iCenter. I've already cashed out a little bit just to make sure it all works. It's all fine, but it's not sustainable in the long run. So basically, what happens is if the market crashes and everyone wants to pull their money out, the company doesn't have enough money to pay everybody that wants to cash out, because that's what happens. And so the company then disappears because it's not sustainable, basically. There's not enough money to pay out everyone if all the people wanted to come out now. But as long as only say like 10-20% of the people want that money, there's enough money in the ecosystem to pay them out. It's sort of like that. The only reason I'm doing it is just to test it out and to have another avenue. So if I can make money for 6 months on it, great. It's just another avenue. If my portfolio isn't going up, which it's not, I can make a little bit on that. And now I'm looking at Dropil and DEX. So we're going to go on to DEX. Did I click that? Yes, I did. Autonomous trading. I'll log into the account in a second, show you what it looks like, so don't worry about this. Yes, there is risks attributed with all investments, as per usual. That's not something anyone doesn't understand. Their roadmap's really nice on the white paper in the company. You know, their roadmap is almost complete from what they currently have, sort of. The ICO was recently, like March, so it's actually really new. It's like 3 months, you know. So if you're a little bit unsure, let me put all the risk up front. Just watch my every 15 days I put a video out. Just watch that, see how it goes. You know, it might be something that's long term, it might not. But this is the market at the moment is so young that there will be half of the things that exist now in the cryptocurrency world will not exist in 3 years. But that's it. But if you are in the ones that do exist in 3 years, well, then you made a shed ton of money because you're in as early as you can. Which, you know, this is 3 months old. Now, if the price of this goes up 4 or 5x and you have investments that's gone up, then, you know, even if your investment doesn't make you that much money, the actual cryptocurrency itself might. Or you leave it in for like 5 years because it's an amazing company, which we are yet to fully establish, and you will realize that it was the best decision you ever did, putting in a couple of $100 and just literally letting it ride. So just compounding it every time that it matures, and over 3 to 5 years you've made, you know, 10x or 20x, and the price of the cryptocurrency has gone up. You know, there's loads of possibilities, and that's why I'm putting a little bit of some money. Mainly I'm keeping it in my portfolio, but putting a little bit here and there, a couple of $100 into other things just to see what if is more what it is. And, you know, I can obviously move it around within a few months if I want. So at the moment we are, where are we? So we are around here, high limit investments. So they haven't actually done this yet, but they're looking to bring high limit investments. So that would probably mean that you have to tie it in for a longer period, but you can get you have to put more money in, but you get a better return, which is just like anything. The longer you put your money in, you know, like tie it up for, the more you get, which is just like the real world. They want to also integrate onto more exchanges. Now this is where the value of this can definitely skyrocket. So the more people that get on board, you know, if you're looking at these markets, these are very, very, very small markets. So that makes you understand why the volume's so low. Now the market cap might be so high is because everyone has already got in and is actually in on this, and a lot of the money is tied up within DEX itself. So it's not moving anywhere. So the volume's low, but a lot of people got in the ICO, which is why the volume's so low, because this is all ICO money. But I don't exactly know, because obviously I'm not behind the scenes. That's what it looks like from here. So if this just gets on a couple more good exchanges, this price could double, triple, as well as the crypto market going up within the next year, 3 years. You know, the world could be anything. This could be anything. It's realizable rather than a complete fad. So, and I went through IDAX. It's really simple. Sign up like a normal account, transfer from Binance to IDAX, and then transfer it through to Dropil, and that was it. Easy as that. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I'll just give you a little heads up and show you my investment that I did this morning. So here we are. So this is showing you the current price of, deposit withdrawal, really nice. That's how much I put in, to $233.63. That's how many drops I actually got with that money, just there. Now what you need to do with this, you can't take your money out early. So it says here, take out early. If you do, you lose any unrealized profits. So unrealized means you haven't yet got it, basically. It's like building up. Now this will build up over time. I literally only started this morning, and I went on to intermediate. So the risk level here is moderate. That's the intermediate, moderate. So there's 3 risk types. The higher the risk, the more return potentially, but you're also likely to lose some money. So it says profits realized. After this time, whatever this unrealized profit accumulates to will add back into my balance. And obviously, if the price of Dropil goes up or down, it will sort of adjust accordingly. But because it's a reasonable price at the moment that I got in at this, I'm quite happy that it shouldn't go too. I mean, it's been down here at 4s, 3s in a bit, but that was when Bitcoin was really low. And at the moment, as the year goes on, I can only see it going up. Yes, it might not go up loads, but let's say it doubles, 13 to 14,000. This should double accordingly, and as it's an altcoin, maybe more. But that's to say it doesn't change as a safe bet. Then we're still making our unrealized profits. And here, just giving you a little a 3-year projection of what you should make, or how your investment should go up every month, or every 3 months. Yeah, every 3 months is showing you what you would potentially have after, and I can change the like risk level as well after 15 days. So higher, I might test out. I would do moderate and test it out. I can then go up to the higher and lower, depending on the market and what I feel. There's so much more information that you can read on the FAQs, just because you really want to make sure that everything you look at is good. But if you go to Insight, you can actually have a good look at today. So the total in Dropil, that's to do with investments into IDAX, it's 48 million. Users online today is up, and it gives you really good information. DEX overview is here. Pools, so what's the sort of percentage of people in pools. Total paid out today. Total pool distribution, that's what people have got their money in. And yeah, it gives you some really good, nice information. And I normally you can go to month if you really want. But it basically just does automated trading for you. So it obviously, just like any computer, you can tell it to do things. They have sophisticated algorithms all on the blockchain, all sort of issued through smart contracts. So they have here active bots, logic nodes, and you can read. There's just tons of information on the white paper and on their FAQ. And yeah, of course I don't know what's going to happen, but I've only put in this much money. That's probably 5% of my portfolio, let's say 5%, 8%, depending on the sort of market at the moment. It changes all the time. And yeah, let's just see what happens. If I have my money in 5 areas, even if one goes, I still have 4. If 2 goes, I still have 3. And yes, obviously you don't want that, but you don't know. If you have it in just 1, then you don't know if that 1 is going to be the one that, is where you lose it all. So this way I am trying to create some passive income through different streams, all through crypto. Just like, you might do with other online businesses like Amazon or Shopify. So yeah, hopefully this is just a nice light video on one revenue stream passive that can be done. Because it's really difficult to sometimes figure out which ones to use. But I'm going to be doing a 15-day, as soon as this profit's realized, I will do a review and then and then show you my decision. Actually, I'll do a sort of a recorded live decision-making process on my next action. after that, show you what's going on, and show you the current price, so we can really get a good sort of feel before anyone maybe gets interested or tries it out. And yeah, hopefully you liked the video. So if you did, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for another awesome video next time. See you later. Bye.